Welcome, everyone. My name is Leah Mancuso, and today we will be talking about connecting with alumni on LinkedIn. It is never too late or too early to invest in your network. You may wonder, why connect with University of Delaware alum? Well, first off, you guys all have a great natural connection. They're also a great resource for exploring career options related to your major, getting an insider's perspective on various industries and organizations, reconnecting or sending a thank you note after meeting at a career fair, a conference, or a workshop, and also just improving your networking skills in general. UD alum have been where you are, and they're often interested in where you're headed. Take every opportunity to network with them and seek advice. Have you checked out the University of Delaware page on LinkedIn? There's an awesome feature that you can see to the left called Alumni, which makes it super easy for UD students and alum to connect with one another. Let me show you how to use it. So if you just type in University of Delaware, we do have our own page. And again, to the left, if you see my mouse here at Alumni, click on that link. And you can see that we have over 130,000 alum on this platform, which is way too many to even go through. But the coolest part about this feature is that you can actually go through and filter, where they live, where they work, what they do, what they studied, what they are skilled at, and how you are connected. So in my case, as an operations management major, I'm interested in project management. Type that in. I'm also interested in living in New York after graduation. I could even go as far as going further to pick a company that I'm interested in specifically, but you can see this number is going down as I filter. So we're down to way under 130,000 to 5,000. But let's say I wanted to work at JP Morgan doing project management in New York. I'm down to 52 alum. And let me go further and what they do. So again, I'm interested in program and project management. Boom, 4 alumni. So I can scroll down and I have 4 people that I can go through. Of course, you can connect with anyone you hope to, form a relationship with, and always add a note. So we'll go into more depth with this. You are limited to 300 letters, which makes it a little complicated sometimes to figure out what exactly to say. And once you send that invitation, the alum will be able to read your message and either connect with you, or, in the case that they don't see it, they might not right away. But the first thing I would always do is just go through each person and do a little bit of background, reading through their profile. So understanding where they've worked, seeing where they, what they studied at UD. They went abroad. Some people go to grad school, looking through their volunteer experience. Just make sure you're actually interested in this individual. Of course, you can connect with as many people as possible, but always do your research before connecting, because A, it's a learning experience, and B, you never know if what they do exactly isn't something you're interested in, so you don't want to waste your time. So again, find connections and introduce yourself. Always add a note. You want to really explain your connection right away. And before you do this though, just make sure that your profile is updated and professional. Spelling errors, an inappropriate profile picture, or an uploaded resume on your profile with inconsistent formatting are just a few examples that will lessen your chances of forming valuable connections. However, with that said, once you've revised your profile and know that it's all up to date and professional, it's time to start crafting a short message. So here is an example. You always want to make sure that your message immediately mentions the alumni connection. Make sure that it's polite, professional, that it shows you've done some research. You don't want to sound desperate or directly ask for a job. The goal here is really to establish a connection and ask for general information and advice. And again, you are limited to the 300 letters, so you really want to make sure that you keep it concise and to the point. So here's an example. Hello, Sonia. My name is Leah, and I am a current senior, or whatever grade you are, at UD studying blank major. I am interested in blank, and while browsing through some UD alumni profiles, I found your career path to be extremely admirable. I would love to connect and learn more about your background. Thanks. So once you send that invitation, they'll be able to read your message and hopefully respond. But always remember that not every message or invitation you send will result with a connection, and that's okay. Don't be disheartened if you don't get a reply right away. Working professionals are super busy people, and they might not have seen your message, or maybe they forgot to respond. If you haven't heard back in over a week, I definitely recommend you follow up with a note asking if they've received your message. If they still don't reply, maybe it's time to start contacting other people. But the worst networking mistake you can make is not trying at all or giving up. So never give up and continue to build your network. So here we have the message feature on LinkedIn. Once you're connected with an alum, you have access to this feature, which allows you to send much longer messages and also add attachments if you'd like, just like an email. But keep in mind that alum are also super busy people, and they'll appreciate messages that are not dragged out, but rather to the point, respectful, and professional. If you pay for LinkedIn Premium, you do have access to this messaging feature even before connecting. So you would be able to send a longer message as a form of introducing yourself. But let's see an example. So you always have to add a subject. I always use University of Delaware student seeking advice. And hello, Sonia. Thank you so much for connecting with me. As a current senior at the University of Delaware studying blank, I have been proactively applying to a variety of entry-level human resources roles throughout New York City. With a passion for HR and an interest in the entertainment industry, I was wondering if you were available to set up a call to discuss your experience working in campus recruitment at NBC. I truly admire your career path and would appreciate any advice you may have for me. I am attaching my resume below to provide you with some background on myself and would appreciate any feedback on that as well. I look forward to hearing back and thank you in advance. Go Blue Hens. Warm regards, blank. So here you can see that I did mention my resume being attached, but more so to provide background on myself and to seek some feedback. You don't want to, ask for a job or, say, would you mind passing my resume along? You really want to just use this time to establish a relationship. It's not to, be desperate or, think that this person will just give you a job because you went to UD. While they do want to help you, you just want to make sure you're being professional and respectful. So I see, some students get a little nervous when they hear that you're reaching out to do a phone call rather than just, communicating over the screen. But don't be scared to do a phone call. Alum have been in your place before. They really want to help you out, and they're not looking for you to, sell yourself in any way. So here are some potential questions you can ask that I've provided. Of course, there's so many others you can, create yourself, but what skills and/or experiences are necessary to be successful in your role? How would you describe the corporate culture at blank? What does a typical day look like in your role? How do you measure success within your role? What is the biggest challenge you face within your role at blank? What does growth in this position typically look like? And are there any opportunities you suggest I look into to better prepare myself for this role? So again, that last question is not directly asking for, what position should I apply for? Or, who should I talk to? It's more so asking for advice on just what types of roles, and if there is one at the company, they'll definitely share it. But again, you want to just make sure you're asking general questions and advice. And no matter what, whether it is a job interview or connecting with an alum or outside professional, just make sure you always have questions prepared. And always, always, always remember to follow up with a thank you message after chatting on the phone, meeting in person, or even after just receiving an email with advice. The key is to remain professional, proactive, and useful. You never want to be pushy or overeager. So let's read this example. Dear Sonia, thank you so much for taking time to speak with me this morning. These past 2 months have been extremely eye-opening in regards to my career aspirations, and after learning more about your background and position at blank, you have reassured me that blank is a role I want to explore further. I would love to keep in touch and will reach out with updates on my job status in the next few months. Let me know if there are any opportunities you believe I should look into. Thank you again, all the best. So here again, you're just really reminding them about the conversation you had, saying that you really appreciate the time that they took, but you're also explaining that you want to continue to build this relationship and will be willing to send updates about your job status. Also remember that you should always continue building your relationship with your connections and reach out periodically. I won't go through all of these examples, but To the right, let's read, "Hi Taylor, I hope you are doing well. I wanted to reach out and let you know that I will be graduating this May and am still actively applying for entry-level project management and HR roles in New York City. If there are any roles you would still like to consider me for within Related's Technology PMO division, I am still highly interested. Thank you again for connecting with me and for staying in touch. I look forward to hearing back from you. All the best." So all of these examples are actually messages I have sent to my connections. Taylor was a UD alum that worked at a company I interned at, and he was very willing to meet with me when I was an intern and told me to, reach out to him if I was still looking for a job throughout the last few months of my college career. So that's exactly what I did. And I feel like most of you should just take time to sit and read the other two examples. They're just short little ways to reconnect and kind of continue building your bond and relationship with your connections. Experts agree that the most connected people are often the most successful. When you invest in your relationships, both professional and personal, it will pay off throughout the course of your career. I really hope you found this presentation insightful. Please be sure to use the Career Center as a resource if you have any additional questions, regarding networking or just anything professional in general. And get excited to grow your network and make more valuable connections. Thanks, guys.